Tonight, it's a brand new episode of WWE Monday Night Raw from the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. And we're getting closer and closer to this weekend's WWE Saturday Night's main event special, featuring 2 world title matches. Plus, we get closer and closer to next month's Survivor Series Premium Live event. With that being said, amid quite a lot of social media speculation with mystery teases, could we see some major surprises from Paul Triple H Levesque and his creative team? We're going to get into 5 possible major surprises for tonight's episode of WWE Monday Night Raw. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. And tonight, it's a brand new episode of WWE Monday Night Raw, streaming live on Netflix globally. It's emanating from the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. And there are several high-profile matches and segments planned for the show, as well as a lot of social media speculation about just what WWE, specifically Paul Triple H Levesque and his creative team, are up to. So let's get into what could potentially be on tap for tonight's episode of WWE Raw, beginning with a face-off between the 2 competitors who are going to be facing each other for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship this Saturday at WWE Saturday Night's main event. Of course, we found out last week that the WWE World Heavyweight Championship was now vacant, and because of Seth Rollins' injury that he suffered at WWE Crown Jewel Perth against Cody Rhodes, but also in storyline, he was taken out and turned on by his former stablemates in the Vision. It led to Adam Pearce confirming that indeed we were going to be having this World Heavyweight Championship match at Saturday night's main event. CM Punk had earned the opportunity to be the number 1 contender for Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship by winning a recent triple threat match on Raw when it was in Perth, Australia. Then Jey Uso won a Battle Royal last week, and now we have the match set for Saturday night's main event. So we guarantee this coming weekend we're going to have a brand new WWE World Heavyweight Champion being crowned. It's going to be either CM Punk, who's going to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship since he's returned for the second time. Of course, he did win it, and he was a champion for about, a minute or 2 in SummerSlam after defeating Gunther. Jey Uso, meanwhile, also defeated Gunther this year, except it was in the opening match of WrestleMania to win the World Heavyweight Championship, but he dropped it only a couple of weeks later back to the ring general. So the question is, who is going to come out on top this coming weekend? Well, we won't have those answers this evening, but the self-proclaimed best in the world and main event Jay will be in Anaheim tonight. They will meet face-to-head ahead of their clash for the world title this coming Saturday night. I don't know if we're going to get physicality here. I mean, it could go either one way. You could have a situation whereby you get the classic pull-apart brawl, something like that happens. I'm just not sure that you probably get that in this segment. I do feel like it's going to be a pretty peak, typical CM Punk segment. A lot of inside references, a lot of personal shots, a lot of kind of talking down and insults flying back and forth. I do think it's probably going to be something like that. They did very much frame, as you can see right there in the picture, they did frame Jimmy Uso as kind of watching on in the background, looking frustrated, looking angry. So whether or not Jimmy Uso will also be a part of this segment, we'll have to wait and see, but maybe he could factor into the finish this Saturday at Saturday night's main event as well. But Punk and Uso, they'll be facing off tonight live on WWE Monday Night Raw. Now, before we get on to the next number on this countdown list, a reminder, this video is brought to you in collaboration with all of our great affiliates. That includes NordVPN. You can see right there, if you're in the United States, you can get up to 77% off plus 3 months extra. But don't worry, if you're anywhere else in the world, you can still have significant savings. All you've got to do, scan that QR code, click our custom link. That's nordvpn.com/WN365. nordvpn.com/WN365. Because Raw's on Netflix tonight. But you know what else can be free for you? It can be Saturday night's main event. Yes, we're going to see a brand new World Heavyweight Champion crowned this Saturday. And if you're in the United States, you can't watch it on NBC anymore. They are Peacock specials. And I don't know what else your broadcast deal maybe is around the world in the location that you're in. But for us, here in the UK, we get to watch it for free on YouTube, on WWE's YouTube channel. And you can too. All you've got to do, get a VPN, change your location to an international territory like here in the UK. Not only can you watch all of your WWE content through one Netflix subscription, but also you can watch Saturday night's main event for free on YouTube this Saturday. We'll be doing a watch along and a post show. On top of that, you can watch John Cena's retirement match in December for free as well, live on YouTube. Pretty good deal. If you do utilize that, You're saving yourself some money and you're supporting this channel in the process. Let's move on and talk about the mystery of the feet. Yes, no, I'm not talking about some sort of strange desire or anything like that. And I'm not talking about Tony Atlas. The mystery of the feet. This has been something that has been going around on social media for the last 24 hours. If you're not really familiar with the story here or anything like that, basically, WWE started randomly posting these little teasers on social media. And you couldn't really tell who they were. People were doing their sort of, okay, is this person? And it felt like WWE was teasing a faction. It felt like WWE was teasing Return's debut or something, because of how they uploaded it, the times that they uploaded it, no caption. It was just a video. It was short. And at the end, there was a little bit of a guitar riff, and then some people recognize some sort of this could be this person, this could be that person. You know, people were doing what they did. We covered it earlier on. Now, in an update, PW Insider has revealed the likely identities of some of the people in the videos and the reason behind them. Several major names, according to PW Insider, were at WWE HQ this past week, filming promotional content for WrestleMania 42, which takes place in Las Vegas next year, April 2026. These names include Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Brock Lesnar. Now, the shoe, the foot, the feet in the bottom right picture, that was the one I predicted to be Brock Lesnar anyway. As far as Cody Rhodes, you think Cody could maybe be top left. Roman Reigns might be top right. I don't know who the fourth person would be, but it does very much look like Brock Lesnar, and many fans did predict that the identity was Brock Lesnar there. Now, the report from PW Insider stated, quote, PW Insider has learned the videos are not previewing a return, as some have assumed. Specifically, what the suggestion is actually this whole promo campaign isn't for anything related to storyline. Unfortunately, it looks like it's actually for WrestleMania 42, as I mentioned. PW Insider has reported that Brock, Roman, Cody, film material for WrestleMania 42, Fightful, WrestleVotes, they've confirmed the same thing. Fightful Select confirmed that Lesnar flew in private to film the vignette. So actually, this is all going to be promotional stuff for WrestleMania 42. Probably a tickets on sale, this, that, and the other. So it's not, you know, a storyline. It's not a faction or anything like that. It's not the Vision, which is kind of what I thought it would be. Looks like it's just going to be promotional for WrestleMania 42. So if that is the case, we're probably going to get that revealed tonight on Raw. I don't see WWE stretching out. The only thing that they could do, maybe WWE, is look at it and go, it was for WrestleMania 42, but maybe we turn it into something else, because this is getting a lot of people talking. This could be something really exciting. But we're probably going to get revealed that, no, it's just for WrestleMania 42. Probably tickets, because that's the most important thing to TKO right now. Next, could we get a heel turn tonight on WWE Monday Night Raw? As I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on the product, certainly, no doubt about that. And there is also a tag team match that's taking place this evening. It's going to be the Women's Tag Team Champions, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, defending against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Now, that's because Bayley and Valkyria were able to defeat Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez in a tag team bout 2 weeks ago, and now the role model has cooked up some major plans for both herself and Lyra. She posted a video to social media this past Friday, inviting Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss to come to Raw, and the Women's Tag Team Champions decided to make some travel plans to Southern California. So that match is going to be taking place this evening, and I don't think we have a title change or anything like that. I think we have this heel turn that maybe some were predicting a few weeks ago. Of course, Bayley had the kind of, you know, meltdown over the summer because she lost to Lyra a bunch of times and she couldn't beat Becky Lynch. We saw those vignettes where she had the split personality, and one side of her brain was seemingly the role model, the other one was the hugger, and she was conflicted, and then suddenly she came back and she was looking out for Lyra. She's trying to make amends with Lyra, and she's shown some signs of being a little bit not with it in recent weeks. And I think what we're going to see here is actually, with Bayley, they lose tonight, and then Bayley snaps. Whatever, maybe she kicks to the curb both identities, finds a new one, and that new one is vicious and supernatural or something like that. So I think not only do we not have new Women's Tag Team Champions this evening, but I think we could see maybe the debut of a brand new version of Bayley, or the beginning of a new metamorphosis for the former WWE Women's Champion. We'll have to wait and see. But I think that could be a real possibility later on this evening. Next up, Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar has been a name that a lot of people have been talking about recently, of course. It's because for a few hours, anyway, he wasn't contracted to WWE. He was a free agent. It was a big story over the last few weeks that Santos Escobar had turned down several offers from WWE to re-sign and stay. He was not happy with creative. It wasn't really a money situation or what have you. He just wasn't happy with the creative that he was being given. There were reportedly at points plans to have him as kind of the face of AAA. Of course, that didn't happen because Dominic Mysterio won the AAA Mega Championship. So he wasn't happy and he said, right, I'm leaving. Once my contract's up, I'm free to go anywhere. And his contract expired. But then we got a report, didn't we, just a few hours later that he actually had re-signed with WWE. WWE were desperate not to lose him, so they gave him a big money offer to stay. Now, it was reported last week that Escobar, who hasn't been seen on WWE television since Worlds Collide back in July, was returning next week on WWE Monday Night Raw, of course, taking place from California as well. And a lot of people have been sort of speculating, well, if he's on big money and he's got creative assurances on top of the reports, they're saying he's going to be at Raw this evening, we're probably going to get a Santos Escobar return. What that will look like, that's the most interesting thing about this right now, isn't it? If these are big money contracts and creative reassurances, I don't think he comes back out with Legado del Fantasma and Angel Umberto and say, yeah, that's it. I think maybe we have almost a bit of a reset, maybe a bit of a rebrand, if you will, of the Santos Escobar character, or a big push, a sign that he's going to be going in a completely different direction or a different version of the character. So I think Escobar returns this evening, even if it's just the vignettes saying coming soon. Maybe that's why he's backstage, is to film a bunch of vignettes, but that would suggest that he's going to be off TV for longer, which I don't think that would be the plan. We'll have to wait and see, but all reports are suggesting that Escobar, the former Cruiserweight champion, is going to be back at WWE Monday Night Raw this evening from Anaheim, California. And finally, could we get a return of the Beast, Brock Lesnar? Now, this was kind of linked to the vignette we saw on social media, the teases, which we now are hearing. Anyway, the reports are suggesting they're not anything to do with storyline. They're not anything to do with imminent returns or imminent debuts. They're actually going to be revealed as a promotional tool for WrestleMania 42. So maybe the Lesnar one's less likely because of that now, but we are also getting closer to some major events. Saturday night's main event this coming weekend. Brock's not been on an NBC special just yet. On top of that, Lesnar could potentially be involved with the Vision. There have been reports, haven't there, about Brock Lesnar possibly being involved with Survivor Series next month. It had been reported prior to Rollins' injury that the plan was to have a Seth Rollins Vision team going up against a team led by Roman Reigns and CM Punk for the War Games match at Survivor Series. It would appear, according to reports, that that plan is still on, but without Seth Rollins, there's maybe going to be Brock Lesnar. It had been reported that Lesnar was going to be teaming up with the Vision anyway, regardless of Rollins' injury. Now it could be a case whereby Brock comes in. They still haven't really explained kind of what deal was struck for Paul Heyman to announce him at WrestlePalooza. I think the storyline would have probably been something along the lines of, it was kind of a bit like before with CM Punk and Paul Heyman in the favor. It was a case of Brock said, oh, I'll owe you one. And one was being in the Vision's team for War Games. Now, just because Rollins is gone, still, that favor can still be owed just to the Vision, the new version of the Vision led by Paul Heyman, with Big Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker. Maybe Brock Lesnar becomes the new leader of the Vision or something like that. That's one thing that Brock's never really had during his career, is a faction. He's never needed one. I don't know if there's ever really a desire, particularly in 2025, to see Brock Lesnar be leading a faction, particularly when he's not going to be on television every single week. But the idea that, you know, a top star who's a part-time wrestler can't lead a faction is just not accurate, is it? Of course, we saw Roman Reigns for several years being not only part-time, but also the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, lead the Bloodline, and he wasn't at TV every single week, and that was a faction where the message was continuously carried by Paul Heyman. So who's to say that Brock doesn't return this evening, or possibly this weekend, or ahead of Survivor Series, reveals himself to be the leader of the Vision? in pocket once again with Paul Heyman, and the challenge is made for War Games, or the stage is set for War Games or something like that happening at Survivor Series in San Diego. And it depends if when these vignettes were filmed, maybe Brock's around WWE, and because of that, he can actually show up and do a date for them. Time will tell, but we'll see if the Beast is back tonight on Monday Night Raw. But there you go, guys. That's the 5 possible major surprises that could take place tonight live on WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix. What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? What are your predictions? Let me know, as always, in the comment section below. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe. As you can see right there, it just moved. We are getting closer and closer to 25K in 2025. That was our goal. It was actually our second goal. The first goal was 20K. Then we did that over WrestleMania, and then we turned down to 25K. So it's 25K in 2025, and we're now less than 250 away from 25K. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, click the like button, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.